Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence. Today we're going to take a look at another Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, AWOC for short, and that is the Gladiator, Ahaw Kinn. Now, before anyone gets mad and they start dropping messages, because I've had people do this with AWOC figures in the past. I review action figures, not lore. I look at what they come with, the articulation, the paint, and different things like that, and try and determine if they're good action figures, not talk about the lore. So if somebody knows exactly how to pronounce it, please in the comments tell me. If you're someone I know like Brick something, please send me a voice note and tell me exactly how I'm supposed to pronounce it. Until then, I'll just say that it's supposed to be a Harkin. Kind of makes sense there. But anyway, here we're going to take a look at this figure, and unfortunately his weapons fell, so we can't see really what he has, but it doesn't matter because we're going to open him up. So another good looking figure from what I can see here. Got some nice artwork on the side. On the back, they do talk about where he comes from, who he is. But again, that doesn't mean much to me because I'm not really following their lore. But we're going to get into this. We're going to take a look at it. So let's quickly get into this, go over the articulation and everything, and see if he's another good figure. So far, all the AWOC figures have been absolutely wonderful. But before we do, if you like this type of content, you like seeing AWOC reviewed here, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a video such as this. Alright, so I have a Harkin out of his packaging, and first we'll take a look at his accessories as I always do. So quickly, he comes with 3 sets of hands. Alright, and these are the same hands that did come with the hyena Ed over there. So you can kind of see the fingernails right there. You can see the fur on it. Now, it would be wonderful if there's a little bit of paint on it, but as we know, anytime the paint hits, it costs a little bit more. So this is where they're kind of getting away. And these are more, in my personal opinion, looking at them, they have more of a kid aesthetic, and I think it's great because kids will not break these. Here we have 2 fists. All right, again, looking really nice. Has a nice long fingernails. All right, and then we'll take a look at this, and these are new accessories. So the first accessory, nice and straight. It looks like it's some sort of piece of wood, and it has these hieroglyphics on here. Again, I have no idea what it says, but it has 2 different things on either side. You have these wonderful teeth that they all look to be just a little bit different, so you can tell it's been used. You have some sort of cat on here that is, I would say this is made in the metal. This looks to be wood. I could be completely wrong, but the paint looks really nice, really good. I love the shininess, and I really do like that this little cat on here. Like I said, these would be awesome with the with Thundercats if Super 7 could make Thundercats that actually articulated. Alright, so here's one of the other accessories. Now these two do combine. You plug these in and you have a nice long staff, or you can have some sort of sword here. So we'll quickly look at it as a sword. It does have the handle here. Kind of has the cob right there, right? It is pokey, alright? So don't give this to a kid if you're going to let a kid play with these. Their accessories, this accessory would be fine, but this, yeah, you want to watch it, especially if you have 2 kids. Here's the staff, or for the staff. All right, nice design on it here. I love just the detail that runs through here. You can tell they put a lot of time and effort into this. And again, they're nice and solid, but not to the point where they feel like they're going to break. All right, and all what you really do have here is just kind of a little plug there. It's a rectangle. It's got a plug right in there. We even hear a nice little snap. So there you go. And then on to the figure here. And quickly, let's take a look at his articulation before we look at his detail. So the head here, I would say one complaint is they don't look up. All right. He can look down. They look side to side really nice, which I do like because that can get some really nice pictures, especially how a cat would move. All right. T-pose, even with these big shoulder pauldrons, bicep swivel, double elbows. Not pinless. All the new figures, the next wave that are coming out are. But again, you look at that there. It's really hard to tell just due to the color. And these have not been heated up or anything. All right. Wrists are going to move back and forth nicely. They have a nice ab crunch. They can go back. And they obviously do go side to side. Jean-Claude Van Damme is pretty good. Really, this is what obstructs it, and there's not too much you can do about that. This thigh swivel, double knee joints, again, not pinless, but it's hard to really tell. And then they do have these shin guards, which do obstruct a little bit of your articulation. So the knee or the ankles do rock back and forth. They're actually able to stand pretty well. I can get them on one foot fairly easy without any problem. These ones are a little bit harder than the apes, because the apes just happen to have bigger feet. But I did get the hyena on there perfectly fine. He's going to struggle if you even want to do like a one-footed. You can probably see this table start. I mention the table all the time. It seemed fine at first when I bought it just to do reviews here. So I can get them on one foot fairly easy. These shin guards are a little bit more obstructing than these ones and these ones because there's no cut. So you might want to go ahead, if you were to get this, maybe make it just a little bit of a cut so this can move a little bit better. All right, now we'll take a look at these faces and the design on them. So I love this because you kind of have, you have half of his teeth kind of showing like he's growling. Eyes are looking good, nice and straight. You get this wonderful look up here. So I believe this is a cheetah. At least that's what it looks like to me. So you got some nice paint there. I gotta stop saying nice. Get a thesaurus and find out some other words. Paint around the ears. So it really just pops right out there. You got the white that really shows, or white or gray or whatever it is. And then into the yellow. But I love that you can see how just the fur is just flowing down. Now, one thing that they do, the bodies are the same amongst these figures, which is perfectly fine, but they have a different neck piece, which goes right into their traps. And it really does make it seem like these figures are maybe just a little bit different than what they are with the bucks, all right? Got this big shoulder pauldron here. Again, you can pull these off. I've never really pulled one off. I pull these gauntlets off all the time. You can see here the hyena doesn't have it. But I'm pretty sure if you just pop this head off, or these ones actually may just roll right on down. These ones would be a little bit more difficult just to how the fact these two cross over. Anyway, looking here at this strap here, you have the nice little clasp there that's going to hold it together. And on this one, it's a little bit different. You get the ball right there. Every single one of these designs here, they look battle damaged. They look like they have been out there, they have been fighting. So you're seeing all these dinks, cracks, different things like this. And I just think that makes everything really pop. It adds character to a figure. Something I don't think a lot of companies have figured out. And it seems really easy to do. All right. So you got these little spikes on the gauntlets here. This one's a different color. Got the spots down here, and even on the back here, just this little bit of color really makes everything pop. Again, I've always been, since I got the first couple of these, really impressed with these figures. Just kind of coming right off the bat. This looks more like a samurai skirt. It looks like it's supposed to have chainmail or chain armor underneath it. And here you just have the little slats. Now, it would be nice to have maybe a little bit of paint here. But as I mentioned, every time you put paint on, it costs a little bit more. And then when you get down to the shin guards, once again, you can see the texture and see that it has been battle damaged. If they've taken these into battle, they have fought with these. All right. Oh, and they also do have, this one's going to be harder to see. They do have butterfly joints. So they're able to cross over. See how this crosses over past that 90 degree right there? That allows you to hold a sword like so, fairly easy. Classified figures, they don't really work. The ones that do, and some other ones, once you have these plate carriers, it really takes away from it. So, all right. So, as for the hands, I mentioned this before, and I really love these hands from the beginning, is they come off pretty easily. They have a nice long stem. They don't feel like they're going to break. You can give these to a kid. I don't see them coming back and breaking these figures. All right, gauntlets are meant to come off if you choose. And the one thing I really do appreciate is they made sure to match the color of the fur that's right here. So you can see it obviously blends right into it. But I like the fact that I can take off the gauntlets. The gauntlets, in my opinion, do kind of get in the way. Not as bad as our shin guards here. They just need to fix this a little bit. I don't mind them having it, but they really do need to make it so it doesn't obstruct too much of their articulation when you're trying to pose, because this will push back. But these are pliable enough that it usually doesn't cause a problem. Again, like you can see right here, even these pauldrons here have no issues getting it into that T-pose. All right. So we will kind of throw this in his hand. And you can look at this guy and tell that he is well, he's not to be trifled with. I just wanted to use that word, trifle. And it looks really good. I keep saying, if you don't have an AWOC figure and an action figure fan, these are something that you really, really need to get. All right. As for this giant paddle, or whatever it is, I think you're a fool if you're not going to find some way to pose him with this thing, because it's just awesome. It just looks like something that you can, I don't know. It just looks like fun. It's going to be fun to do pictures with this big old thing. Well, when I'm holding it better. So anyway, there you go. That is your AWOC, Harkin, which I think is just a cool name, if I am saying it right. But again, how can you say something wrong if you don't really follow the lore? Unless you call Snake Eye something else, then you're just wrong. Anyway, there you go. There he is. Another AWOC figure that I think is pretty impressive, just like the rest of them. Alright, so there you go. Another AWOC figure, a Harkin. Again, I might be completely butchering that, but anyone that watches my Monday night toy ramblings knows I obliterate the English language all the time. Anyway, I'm really impressed with these. I'll say it again. If you collect action figures, you like good action figures, these are ones that you just have to pick up one and see what all the talk is. They really did a wonderful job, and they continue to do a wonderful job from what I can see. And I'm assuming the next lines, which are all going to be all pinless, I think they're all going to be pinless. Don't quote me completely on that. Will be just as good. So I am excited for what's to come and to see how far they can go with this. You don't really have to follow a lore. You might just look and say, hey, I like monkeys that are animal or are like humanoid, hyenas. That's what I like to see. So, but I'm going to get out of here. You guys spent enough time with me, which I do appreciate. So please, if you have and you're still here, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop something such as this. Now, it is time for me to go, but you guys don't need to go anywhere because you stayed this long and you're like, hey, I need to see another one. Well, up here I'm going to drop a review. You can hit it there, and down here will be the playlist of all the AWOC figures I've reviewed. Take care.